Welcome to Base Camp. I'm Pastor Pat, and all week long people have been asking me, so what's up with the beard? Well, as you can see, I still have it. You've been sending in your money for BGMC, Boys and Girls Missionary Challenge, to vote whether I would keep it or not. And a lot of people liked it. Some didn't, and my wife hates it. So, here's the results. $305 came in for let it grow, meaning keep it, and they were way up going into this last Sunday. Could my wife and the people who didn't want it possibly catch up? The Let It Grow crowd sent in their money, and it came to $461.67. Apparently, a lot of you out there love my wife and want to see this thing go. Okay, but more than that, you love missionaries and are partnering with them to share the love of Jesus with people. The total that we received in the Beard for BGMC vote was $766.67. That is amazing. Thanks for loving God and people and supporting missionaries through BGMC. It means a lot, especially at times like this. In uncertain times like we've been going through lately, it can be hard to trust God completely, let alone continue to worship and honor Him when things really get hard. There was probably no one in the Bible who knew that better and did a better job at it than a guy named Job. Job was an incredibly faithful and God-honoring person who got attacked hard by Satan, specifically because he was faithful and God-honoring. I can only imagine how much Satan and his demons hated Job. In fact, I bet it was quite the interesting meeting when one of Satan's demons pitched him the idea of going after Job. Now, I need to go get ready to shave, but while I do that, let's take a peek in at that meeting between Satan and his little demon buddy. So, you have an evil plan for me? Yes, Satan, I do. Perfect. But before we go on, I just want to say, you sure are a handsome devil. Thank you, sir. So, what's this plan you have for me? Well, you know how God... Whoop. Gotta stop you right there. We can't be mentioning him. Can I say, Lord, no good. Literally, we don't want any good. He's the very definition of good. Right. Okay, you know how he who must not be named has you and the angels come before him to give him a report on what you've been doing? Yeah. Well, when he asks you, you tell him roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. Oh, very mysterious. I like to keep him guessing. You sure do, sir. Except he is all-knowing, so whoopsies. Anyway, he's going to ask if you've considered his servant Job. Oh, Job. What's his deal? Well, he's pretty much blameless and upright, fearing he who must not be named and shunning evil. Oh, very goody-goody. Yes, he even prays and does sacrifices for his 10 kids, wanting them to be blameless and follow he who must not be named too. I am not liking this guy at all. No, and he's rich. Rich? Yes, he owns 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys. Oh, lots of donkeys. Plus, he has a large number of servants. He's the greatest man in the entire region. Well, no wonder he follows the one who must not be named. What do you mean? He's protected Job and blessed everything he has and does, so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. Exactly. And we're going to get him to deny the unnameable one and turn to evil. The only way that we could ever get Job to turn would be to take away all of his stuff. But he's protected by you-know-who. Taking away is going to be impossible. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, we'll just ask you-know-who to, stop. And he will? Absolutely. But why? Because that works. So he'll just let us take away everything Job has, but we can't actually touch Job himself. Huh. So in one day, Job is going to get 4 messengers in a row with very bad news. Oh, getting an overwhelming amount of bad news at one time is tight. Yes, it is, sir. The first one is going to come to tell him that a group of bandits came and stole all his oxen and donkeys, then killed all of his servants who were watching them. Bummer. While that messenger is still speaking, the second is going to come and tell him that a great fire came and burned up all of his sheep and the servants that were with them. 7,000 sheep burnt up at once? Must have been a bonfire. Very funny, sir. Then before that messenger finishes speaking, another will show up to tell Job that some raiders came and took all of his camels and killed all the servants with them. I like how this is going. Finally, the last messenger arrives to say that all Job's children were having a big party and a big storm blew in, knocking down the house and killing all of them. A big storm? What kind of big storm? Well, it has to have strong winds to blow down the house, but if you want, we can add in thunder and lightning and hail, Satan. Yes, hail me. What? No, never mind. The result is that Job will lose everything all at once. That's a bad day. A very bad day, sir. So what do you think? Do you think our evil plan to turn Job against the Almighty will work? I don't see any way that it won't.
Job said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all of this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing.
So Job had it all as a result of God's blessings, but he always knew what was truly important. Not his stuff, but his relationship with God. He knew all he had was actually just a gift from God, and if it went away, he'd still praise the Lord, even if he didn't understand why it was going away. And speaking of going away, shave time. I'm going to miss this. I really am. But I need to get rid of it. But one last rock. It's been like 7.5 years since the last time I had a beard. It'll probably be at least 7.5 before I get one again. So hold on. Just gotta do a little selfie here. Hello! That was interesting. Okay, now, here we go. I have to get up kind of close to you so you can see. Here we go. I know you want to see this. I cannot see what I'm doing. Okay. Thank you for giving to BGMC, even if you gave to the wrong voting thing. I don't even know what I'm. Oh, that's beautiful. I feel like Lammy right now is what I feel like. I am getting sheared. This is just what Lammy goes through. Whew! What do you think? Just keep it like this? I think so. What do you think? Maybe we should vote again. Woohoo! Yeah, I got soul, baby. Wow! I'll tell you what. Woo! Little baby face. But for those of you who also want me to keep the beard, there it is, right there. We'll just keep some of that right there for you. In fact, you know, maybe we could auction that off for those of you who didn't like the fact that I had to get rid of it. You could keep it yourself. Auction that for BGMC, because I'm sure lots of people would want that. Anyway, I'm obviously done shaving, but Satan and his demon, they aren't done with Job yet. So let's check back in with them. So, you've got a new evil plan for me? Yes, sir, I do. Because the last one didn't really work out all that great. Yes, and I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back about that. Well, okay, let me just climb right off of that thing. So, the Holy One is going to have you and the angels come back again, and he's going to bring up how Job has no one else on earth like him, that he's blameless and upright, shuns evil, all that kind of stuff. Plus, he'll mention how Job still maintains his integrity, even though you ruined him for no reason. Pretty hard to stay off your back about this when you bring it right back up again. Right, but I have a new plan. Remember how last time I said we should get Job to deny the unnameable one and turn to evil? Yes, but that failed miserably. True, so this time I thought we'd, do that again. What? It's like a sequel, because if there's one thing that's better than an original, it's a sequel. Is it though? Works for me. And this time, we'll win because you'll say, skin for skin. What does that even mean? I don't know. Fair enough. And then you'll say that, of course Job hasn't denied the unspeakable one because you weren't allowed to touch his body. But if he lets you strike his flesh and bones, Job will surely curse him to his face. And his holiness will let me do something that will cause Job to curse him to his face? He will. If you say so. I do. So what horrible thing are we going to do to Job's body? Oh, it's going to be awful. We're going to cover him with giant boils. Oh, good. I like making eggs. Sir? Boiled eggs, they're so good. If you overcook them, they smell like sulfur. Plus, after you boil them, you can scoop out the yolks and mix them with mustard and mayo and paprika and make mead eggs. Not boils. They're giant sores that will fill with pus and itch and sting. Oh, not nearly as pleasant. Definitely not. And we'll cover his body with them from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. It'll be so bad that all he'll be able to do is sit there with a piece of broken pottery and scratch at them. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And then we'll bring in his wife. Wait, I thought we killed his family last time. No, just all his kids. We left his wife alive. Oh, very considerate of us. Not as considerate as you might think. No? No. She's going to come up to him and be like, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." Oh, very harsh. And she's telling him to do exactly what we want him to do. And she's telling him to do exactly what we want him to do. And just in case that doesn't work, we're going to bring over 3 of his friends. 3 friends? But won't they encourage him? Surprisingly, no. They'll falsely accuse him of all kinds of stuff, calling him a liar and a sinner, and just generally make him feel worse. And you said these are his friends? Yes, I did. Very bad friends. I like them. I thought you might. So, boils, a wife who wants him to deny the Holy One and die, and friends who attack him. You think this will cause Job to join the dark side? Pretty much guaranteed.
Job said, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In all of this, Job did not sin in what he said.
Job had it rough, and even though he trusted God, he never understood or knew why he went through what he did. And God didn't explain it to him. Towards the end of the book of Job, God basically tells him, look, I'm God, you're not. There are things that you are just not going to be able to understand about what I do or why I do it. You've just got to trust that I know what I'm doing. Following God isn't always easy. And sometimes it's because we're following God, like Job, that life in this world can get hard. Now in the end, God blessed Job for his faithfulness with twice as much as he had before. But that isn't always the case. Sometimes hard things happen. We don't know why, and it seems that nothing great comes of it. But that's where we need to trust that God knows what he's doing and that he loves us. In Matthew chapter 19, Peter exclaims to Jesus that he and the disciples had left everything to follow him. Jesus answered back that they would be rewarded in eternity for their faithfulness and their loss of earthly things, and that the same would be true for everyone who chooses him over worldly things and relationships. I want to encourage you today. Trust God over everything else. Even when you don't understand why hard things are happening, choose him over everything else. Even when it looks like life would be easier if you just went along with what the world and everyone else was doing, in the end, it will be worth it. You will be blessed for eternity, and who knows, maybe God will end up bragging about you just like he did about Job. Well, that's all for today. Feels so weird. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, and all those other things you're supposed to do on social media. I'm a now beardless Pastor Pat. Is it drafty in here? For Base Camp here at Summit Church. Bye-bye.